Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in to your latest episode of Brent and Friends, Nonsense and Trends. I'm here with my business partner, P. Lemons.
P. Lemons.
What's up, P. Lemons?
What's up, Brent?
What's going on, Jim? Thanks
Not
so much
much,
for
man.
being here
Good
today.
to be back.
Today, we're going to be talking about what the Plan F.
What the
Stay
Plan F?
tuned. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks so much for dropping in, stopping by, whatever cliche tagline we have. But today, what the Plan F, Jim?
Yeah, what the Plan F?
What the Plan F? So what happened, Jim, to the Medicare Supplement Plan F, dude?
The Plan F, it kind of disappeared on us.
Well, sort of, kind of.
It was like the go-to plan, and then all of a sudden, it's not.
It was like the Cadillac. I think that literally I heard people call it the Cadillac.
Yeah.
Of health insurance for people.
The best plan ever.
It was the best plan ever. It was the Cadillac, and it's not exactly gone, but it's kind of gone.
Right.
Like if I look at the demographic of people that are probably watching this show, younger people listening to my podcast, younger people going on to Medicare for the first time, if you're looking for some of that education information, you're probably going to be turning 65 soon, or maybe you've turned 65 soon. Now, here's the deal on the Medicare Supplement Plan F. Now, today, we're not going to be doing like a big breakdown of different Medicare supplements. We're just kind of talking about like what the Plan F, like what happened, where'd it go, what's going on, why can't I have a Plan F anymore? Now, some people can have a Plan F. So here's the deal. I'm going to rewind back to the Affordable Care Act. Okay.
ACA,
Obama administration, right? Affordable Care Act. And they changed a lot about healthcare. Now, I'm not going to get political on this. For example, there are a couple of things with the Affordable Care Act that I actually think were kind of a good thing. They're actually, you know what? Like, we're not going to get into my political opinion. I promise. I'm just not going to go down that road. I don't desire any hate mail from anybody. But I will say this: a lot of the things on the ACA, I'm not in support of. There were a couple of things that went really well. Like, for example, along with the Affordable Care Act came the Pension Protection Act and updates to the Pension Protection Act, which basically allows people to get certain insurance policies that protect their assets in the event that they need long-term care. That's another episode for another day.
Right.
My point is this: the Affordable Care Act wasn't all bad. So there was like a margin
you can find a little bit of good in just about everything.
Yeah. But here was one of the things with the Affordable Care Act that really affected the Plan F, which leaves us here going, what the Plan F? Like, where'd it go? Right? So basically, the idea of insurance has been restructured in a way where the definition of insurance means that you, as the policyholder, you, the person who's paying premiums, you have to have some skin in the game. There has to be, you've got to pay something for some of your care.
Right. And the premium's not enough. I mean, you got to pay the premium, but you got to have a little bit of risk too. Yeah. It's a transfer of risk. Insurance is a transfer of risk. Everybody you have to have some risk.
But what if I want to pay more money and transfer all the risk to the insurance company?
Yeah. You can't transfer all the risk. That's the problem with Plan F.
That's the problem with Plan F.
That's right.
So the Plan F essentially said, okay, you pay your premiums, we'll cover everything else. Right? So it was an attachment, just like a Medicare supplement always is. It's a secondary to original Medicare. And then you'd go get care and they'd say, don't worry about it. You've got that deductible with Medicare. We'll pay it. Don't worry about that co-insurance. You go get that surgery. You got to pay 20%. Don't worry. We got it. And it paid absolutely everything all the time. Like you had no deductible ever because the supplement, the Plan F always paid it. Right. And so essentially what the healthcare law has stated is that doesn't meet our definition of insurance anymore. You got to have some skin in the game. I think we were at a seminar at Macaroni Grill, and one of our Turning 65 seminars, and I had a client, one of our clients we had explained that the Plan F essentially was discontinued. So the way it works is if you turn 65 after January 1, 2020, you are not eligible to obtain a Medicare Supplement Plan F, period. Right? And we get people calling us going, hey, I've done my research. Plan F is the best plan out there. That's the one I want. We're going, hey, I can't get your plan. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Right? We can't sell them a Plan F. So we've got some people saying, well, why? And we were explaining this at one of our seminars at Macaroni Grill, one of our Turning 65 seminars. Rest in peace.
Right.
Rest in peace, Macaroni Grill seminars.
I miss those days.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah.
I miss those days too. But we were explaining this process that the definition of insurance means you've got to have some skin in the game. And I had a client, one of our clients or one of our attendees had basically said, so us paying more money and more premiums on a monthly basis to have better insurance, that's not skin in the game enough for the government.
Right.
Good point. I mean, and that was, believe it or not, that was like the first time I had ever actually thought of it in that light.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, because they're paying more premium for that plan. It was the most expensive supplement plan.
Because it had
the richest benefits.
Right. So it
transferred all the risk to the insurance company, which is great.
That's the thing that I don't understand is if I get it. It totally doesn't make sense. If the idea of insurance is that you have to have some skin in the game, well, what if I want to pay more money on a monthly basis to ensure that I have no out-of-pocket costs when the time comes? How is that not considered skin in the game?
Yeah.
That's actually one of those definitions that I would say is almost offensive to my intelligence. It's like sometimes certain laws get passed where it's like you actually think people are that dumb,
right?
that they're just going to be okay with that. Like we obviously have no say in that, right? I suppose we could vote for certain people and maybe hope that laws get changed. So like NAHU, National Association for Health Insurance Underwriters, is an organization that us insurance guys, we can join. And the whole point is essentially we have a say in the way healthcare goes. We get together as a community. We, put to paper our thoughts as far as insurance laws. And then we go to lobbyists and go to Congress and say,
they have a PAC, a political action committee that lobbies for insurance laws,
right? And so we go to these congressmen and women and say, hey, these are the laws you want to pass. Here's how it's going to affect people in our community. We probably know this stuff better than you do. Mm-hmm. You're just a career politician, right? But essentially, one of the things that came with the Affordable Care Act in 2009, 2010, right, was that as of once 2020 rolled around, the Plan F was essentially going to be discontinued.
Right.
So here's the deal, guys. If you're listening to this, if you're over the age of 65, and if you turned 65 prior to January 1, 2020, you can still get an F plan.
Right.
You can still sign up for one.
Right.
But
there's a lot of good reasons why you shouldn't, but you still can't.
There's a lot of good reasons why you shouldn't, such as,
first and foremost, the premium on it is higher than the Plan G. And the transfer, the risk that gets transferred for that extra premium isn't really worth it.
Give me an example.
You pay, I think, on average, it's about $30-$40 more a month for a Plan F than a Plan G?
Typically.
Yeah.
I mean, initially when you enroll.
Right, when you initially enroll. So, and that for that $30 or $40 additional monthly, all it transfers is that Plan B deductible.
Part B deductible.
Part B deductible.
Now that deductible now is $198.
Right.
And it's one time a year.
If you pay $30 a month, though, that's on the low end. That's $350 a year.
So what's the point in paying $360 a year, more in premium, also that there's a $198 deductible that gets paid for you instead of you paying?
You're losing.
It's like my 10-year-old son.
You pay $350
can do the math and realize that one's a better deal than the other.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Right. It's just one's just a better deal than the other. Now, there are a couple of things though that are important to understand. Like when you are guarantee issue onto Medicare supplement plans. So for example, let's say you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, and it kicks the bucket. Let's say you're on a Medicare Advantage plan or you're on a group health plan and you get kicked off. And now you have what's called a special enrollment period or whatever. You're in a Medicare supplement open enrollment period because you lost credible coverage. So you get to go pick a Medicare supplement plan with no medical underwriting. Most carriers, the G plan is not available for that guarantee issue. There's like the N plan and the F plan that are available. Now, here's where things get sticky, okay? Because for anybody who's been selling Medicare supplements for a lot of years, like I've been selling Medicare supplements for almost 15 years now, okay? I have seen plans come and go. I've seen the E plan discontinue. I've seen the J plan discontinue. L, I've seen them discontinue, right? Guess what always happens to those plan premiums for people who get to keep those plans? Oh, well, at least I get to keep my plan. It's being discontinued so no one new can enroll in it, but I get to keep mine. So woohoo, right?
It's that sick village.
It's a sick village problem.
That's right.
I need to do a show on the sick village.
Yes.
I need to do a show on the sick village because I think that would be really helpful for people.
Yeah.
But guess what always happens to those premiums?
Premiums always go up.
Bing! Yep. I think I just got a text.
No new healthy people coming on the plan, paying premiums and not utilizing benefits.
Right.
Means higher utilization for the ones that are on the plan.
Right. I was just going to draw something, but I got too much stuff on my notes. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Oh, well.
So insurance is like a bucket.
Right.
Right. And you've got this big bucket and you've got hundreds of people on the outside and they're paying money into it.
Right.
Premiums. They're paying premiums into that bucket. Right. And out of hundreds and hundreds of people paying money into that bucket, there might be, 5% of people who are like, oh, I'm really sick. So yeah, I'm paying money.
So they put a little hole in the bottom of the bucket.
I need to take money out of the bucket, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I need to take money out of that bucket. Oh, you're right. There's money funneling out of the bottom, right? To those people. They're paying in, but they're actually recipient of money coming out.
But there's a whole lot more people putting money in than there are people pulling it out.
Right. But what happens so think of it like this. If you say, hey, nobody 65 years of age or younger from this point on
can get on this plan.
Can enroll in this plan. Okay.
Which means nobody that's not really sick anymore or now can get on this plan.
Well, statistically speaking, if you have a whole batch of 65-year-old people and then a whole batch of 75-year-old people, who do you think is going to have a healthier group of people?
Probably the 65-year-olds.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like one of those common sense questions, right? It's like duh.
It's an unfortunate reality of getting older, I guess.
People typically tend to get unhealthier as they get older, right? Yep. I mean, people aren't living better longer. They're just living longer. You know what I mean? Right. Medicine is just keeping people alive. It's not really keeping people healthier longer. It's just keeping people alive and keeping their conditions at bay so that they don't wreck you. Right. But people are, so statistically speaking, a 65-year-old group of people and then a 75-year-old group of people, you're going to have a healthier batch of people at 65.
Right.
But the younger people aren't allowed to enroll in this plan anymore. So you're turning off the funnel. No more young, healthy people can enroll in the plan. So as people get older and older and older and older, you're going to start having
more and more people are putting holes in the bucket.
More and more people
are throwing money into it.
Right. Well, you might still have the same amount of people for a while putting money into it, but more of them are pulling money out in claims. Right. And then here's what happens.
That's what they call utilization.
That's called utilization.
Right.
Right. And then guess what happens? Then you've got this insurance plan that goes, okay, the only way for us to stay effective is for us to have so much money being paid in without a certain amount of money being paid out. Okay.
Right.
So we're getting to that breaking point where we're going to be running out of money soon unless we do something.
Right.
So then they got to go to the Department of Insurance and they got to say, hey, look at our claims, look at our books. We need to give these people a premium increase. And the Department of Insurance says, well, you're not allowed to just give people a premium increase just because you feel like it, Jack. So let us look at your books. And they look at the insurance company's books and they go, you're right. That policy will be broke. That policy will be insolvent in 2 or 3 years if we don't allow you to take a premium increase. Right. So then all of a sudden they hit people with a 20% rate increase or whatever approved by the state so that the policy can stay in effect because there are people who depend on it. They need it to stay in force.
Right.
So then the premiums go up. Well, so here's the big question. If you're one of those healthy people that's still on the plan, you enrolled in the plan a few years ago, you got to keep it, and you're healthy, and you're not using it really, and the premium just goes up 20%. What are you going to do?
You're going to be pretty unhappy. You're going to be like,
right? They're going to just take off. They're like, I'm bailing. Like, my policy keeps increasing in price every year, and I'm not even using the sucker. So they're going to call someone like us, right?
Right.
623-777-3315. They're going to call us. The premier agency or the Turning 65 Advisor. They're going to go to www.theturning65advisor.com. They're going to click contact us and they're going to go, my gosh darn Plan F keeps going up in price every single year and I'm healthy.
What the Plan F?
They're going to go, what the Plan F, man? And we're going to say, hey, we're going to switch you over to a G plan. Now, why would we do that?
For the exact same reason you shouldn't have got on the Plan F in the first place.
Well, okay. I'm not going to say that. 7 years ago, if someone had came to me and said, I want a Medicare supplement, I would have said, shut up, you're going on a Plan F. Right? I probably wouldn't have actually said that.
Now, was 7 years ago, was that premium difference the same when Plan G first started?
7 years ago, typically, if I compared a Plan F and a Plan G, we're looking at like maybe $10 a month difference.
Yeah, so the difference has increased over the years, that difference in premium for Plan F.
For a reason, because the insurance companies know that the Plan F is a ticking time bomb. Now, here's what's really interesting.
So they were little by little kind of milking a few extra bucks to...
Well, I don't even know that it's necessarily... See, that might be it. I don't know that that's it.
Trying to build up the...
I think that what's happening is
treasure chest.
I think that they're increasing premiums because they know it's gonna be hard to sustain it, so they have to increase the premiums, right? But not only are they increasing the premiums because they know the F plan is going to be hard to sustain, but they're lowering the premiums on the G plan because they want you to compare the pricing, and they want
it to be more appealing to go to Plan G.
They want you to go to the Plan G. You want to know why? Because the Plan G is going to be easier to sustain. Why? Because people can keep enrolling in that darn plan. And that's just called sustainability.
And when the premium difference was $10 a month, now you're paying $120 a year to save $200 a year. So that makes sense.
It would have made sense.
Some money.
And back then, the Part B deductible was lower. So that's the thing that actually frustrates me about the legislation is the plan. The one warning that I would give anybody, and I only say this because I don't want anybody to say, Brent, you didn't tell me that, is that the only thing that the G plan does not cover regarding Medicare is the Part B deductible, which is not a static environment. It will increase over time. It hasn't always been 198, okay? It was 164 at one point or whatever. It was
one. It kind of ticks up a little bit every year too.
It goes up a little bit. It went up just a couple of bucks, right? And yeah, in 10 years, could it be $200, $300 a year? It could be, right? And so it's not going to cover that. It would only be wise for you to expect. It would only be wise for you to expect that deductible to go up as the costs of care continue to go up, as more people continue to go on to Medicare, less people are paying premiums into Medicare, more people are being in receivership, of Medicare benefits. It would make sense for that deductible to go up at some point. And for the Medicare premium to continue to go up. So that's what frustrated me so much about legislation is they said, hey, in order for someone to have a health plan or a Medicare supplement plan that's considered insurance, they have to have some skin in the game. So we'll make them pay that Part B deductible. But that Part B deductible is going to continue to go increase. So you just basically hoodwinked people into a position where they're never, ever, 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 ever again going to be able to predict their costs fully. From year to year, you can. From year to year, you could say my worst case scenario is my premiums on my supplement plan plus my 198 deductible. But then the next year, it might be my premiums on my health plan plus my 250 deductible plus my...
But the premiums change every year too.
But the premiums change but at least on the F plan they would say my premiums, that's it. My costs out of pocket, predictable. There are none. Right? And if they had said, okay, we're going to create a new Medicare supplement where we're not going to leave people paying the Part B deductible of $198. We're actually going to say the supplement itself has a deductible of $200. So regardless of what Medicare's deductibles, regardless of what those do, it doesn't matter. The supplement plan itself had a deductible of $200 and that stays the same. That would have been great. Right? That would have been great because then you sign up for a policy and the policy stays the same forever and ever, amen, as long as you keep it, $200 deductible. But now the backdoor issue is that the policy does stay the same, but Medicare doesn't stay the same, and the policy is subjected to what Medicare does. And if the Part B deductible continues to go up, then your deductible goes up every single year. And it seems like a really shisty way of writing legislation. Frustrates me. So basically, the long story short is if you could enroll in a supplement plan F right now, I still wouldn't encourage it. Now, I've actually seen articles and blogs written by other Medicare advisors, which is totally awesome. Like, I love that there's people out there just putting content out there, trying to educate their clients. I would love to talk to them about this. I don't want to create any online wars, but I've actually seen a lot of Medicare advisors out there online going, the Plan F is not going to implode. It's sustainable. It's still the best plan long-term. Enroll in the Plan F. I still sell it. And I'm sitting here going,
just the cost difference alone, the premium though, it's hard to,
but these advisors are saying at the rate that people are dumping into the Plan G, the premiums aren't going to be sustainable because there's so many people going into it that they're going to have to increase the premiums. And by the way, guess what? They aren't 100% wrong. Our Plan G clients are getting rate increases right now. Aetna just,
yeah.
I mean, Aetna was probably the top selling Plan G plan in the market for multiple years. I mean, they hit the market so hard, right? My clients have gotten rate increases 2 years in a row with Aetna.
Right.
And that's to be expected. But so this is saying F plan versus G plan. Here's the thing. I still think that the G plan is more sustainable.
Yeah.
Because as time goes on and on and on and on and on, we're creating a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger gap. As a decade passes, the gap from the healthy population to the sick population is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
The healthy population from the people who are allowed to enroll in the plan is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The F plan is going to get to a point to where, give it 10 or 15 years from now, and there's literally no one allowed to enroll in that plan almost.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody has, frankly, started to die off and
jumped ship if possible.
If
they qualify to switch to the G, they will.
It's going to get to a point to where there's going to be almost no one enrolling in an F plan, period, because it's going to be physically impossible to enroll in an F plan. And then what's that going to do for the people who are still on the plan? They're going to be paying $400 or $500 a month.
Yeah. And every time I sit down with somebody and I, show them if they say they want a Plan F and I start talking about Plan F, the benefits, I compare it to Plan G and I show them the difference in the premium and then we do the math. 99% of the time they say, yeah, Plan G makes more sense.
Do you think if we sold it different, that would go different though?
Probably.
I mean, I just want to think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Like what angle could we actually take to,
other than just the cost difference?
Yeah, to paint the F plan in a good light. I mean, morally, I don't actually see a reason to sell the F plan anymore. I just don't. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I mean, the G plan or even the N plan or the C plan. But if you look at the C plan doesn't even make sense because the premiums are just garbage. Yeah. Like, I think right now, there's no point. If you're going to sign up for a Medicare supplement, I honestly don't see a point unless it's a G plan or an N plan. I just don't see the point.
Yeah.
Because then, you've got other people who are selling a lot of like the C plan or the A plan or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but look at the premiums of those plans versus Advantage plans. At that point, it's just too close.
Right.
It's just too close. Like, well, yeah, but I could get someone this Medicare supplement plan for $50 a month. Okay. But they've got so much exposure and you have a deductible on that plan of $2,000 and then they have to pay their Part A deductible or, once or twice a year. And, at that point they have a maximum out of cap of $5,000 or $6,000. I could get someone a Medicare Advantage plan with an out-of-pocket cap of $5,000 or $6,000 and they've got their drug plan and they've got some dental and they've got this. And it's just like, at that point you start comparing the plans side by side and it's like, this doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Right? The F plan the G plan and the N plan, they still make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Now the network might be the deciding factor on a plan like that, because they still have the no network factor on the plan, on a supplement plan.
Here's all I'm going to say. Go back and listen to some of our past episodes though. Anytime someone comes to me and they say, yeah, but network is an issue. My opinion is, here's where I say things that are probably going to bother a lot of advisors out there. Stop being lazy. Just educate your clients. Stop being lazy. There are plenty of plans out there that give people network flexibility. There are plenty of plans out there that give people low cost and allow them to go out of network. There are plenty of HMOs out there that allow people to have no referrals and things like that anymore. Things are changing. I don't want to hear the network restriction argument anymore, unless, with the exception of some people who say, hey, I really want to go to certain specialty clinics like the Mayo Clinic or Ironwood Cancer Treatment Centers. And those places just straight up do not work with Medicare Advantage plans unless you get a prior authorization. But here's the thing. Most Medicare Advantage plans, now we're getting off to a different topic.
Right.
My grandfather, I'll give testament right now. My grandfather used to be on a Medicare Advantage plan that was originally not owned by United Healthcare, but United Healthcare eventually ended up purchasing this company. Their name was Evercare. Okay. My grandfather was on an Evercare plan. He got diagnosed with this crazy abdominal cancer in his gut.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he ended up succumbing to it. And so my grandfather ended up passing in 2010. It was like April, May, or June of 2010. Oh, God, forgive me for not remembering the exact date, but he passed mid 2010. But in that meantime, he had some doctors. He had he had an Evercare Medicare Advantage plan, and he was at a couple of hospitals, and they were like, look, this is not something we can treat. And so I appealed to his Evercare Medicare Advantage plan, and I said, he needs to go to the Mayo Clinic then, because these people are saying they can't take care of him. Guess what Evercare did? They said, okay, sure.
Yeah.
So they contacted the Mayo Clinic and they said, we know that you don't work with our insurance, but we're willing to pay above and beyond what we normally would pay. Can we work out an agreement with you? We have a patient we'd like to send to you. They said, sure.
Yeah.
They sent him over to the Mayo Clinic. Unfortunately, at that point, it was too late. The cancer had progressed too far.
Right.
And by the way, it wasn't because we had to wait 10 years to get into the Mayo Clinic. From the time that we decided, hey, let's try to get him into the Mayo Clinic to the time that he did get into the Mayo Clinic, it was like 9 days. All the insurance plan, it's like 9 days, guys. Yeah. All the insurance plan needed was something from the doctor going, we can't do this.
Yeah. So
we got nothing on this.
Right. The network argument is it's fading. It's
fading.
It has a lot less teeth than it used to.
A lot less. There's still some validity to it. There are some cases where someone goes on to Medicare and they go, all my doctors at the Mayo Clinic. And I'm like, I'm not going to put you on a Medicare Advantage plan.
Right.
But you're right. That argument is fading. So
HMOs are a lot better than they used to be.
And then there's PPO options and private fee-for-service options. So I guess at the end of the day, the really what we're trying to narrow down is what the heck happened to the Plan F. Why, if you're listening to this, you'll probably never enroll in a Plan F. And if you do, it's probably not going to be from us, except for some rare circumstances and situations. You know, my agency, we've got 150 agents here in Arizona. We are doing roughly 100 enrollments a month. And I think we have probably this year, we've probably sold 3 Plan Fs.
Yeah.
And it is just really weird situations when we sell them. So the F plan is just gone. It's obsolete. It's just, it's just done. The G plan is kind of the way to go. The N plan is also a great option for you. So that's really kind of what happened to the Plan F for those listening. I mean, I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Man, it sounds good. I don't have anything to add.
Well, I guess that's that. Stay tuned for our next episode. I hope that was educational for you guys. I really do. If you guys have any information that you need further on Medicare supplements, feel free to go to theturning65advisor.com. Click contact us. That message will go to me and Jim. Whoever gets to it first, we'll go ahead and get you an answer. If you'd like to schedule an appointment, do that, or call us at 623-777-3315. Have a nice day, guys.
Take
Peace.
care.